So this is School Lane in Woolton, and it's named School Lane after this building here, which is Much Woolton School, built in 1610. So it's still here, and it's still standing, and it's still in use. If you watched my last video on Hunts Cross, you'll know that I went to Kingsthorne County Primary School, or Hunts Cross Primary School as it's known now, and that was built in 1939, and it's still standing and still being used today. So today we're going to take a walk to my secondary school, which didn't manage to last as long as either of these two. Summer is beginning to give way to autumn, and you can see that there are leaves falling from the trees already. We're going to take a walk through Woolton village and head out towards Gateacre. My secondary school was Gateacre Comprehensive, and it was built in 1957, which makes it, or made it, the same age as me. So when I went there at 11 years old in 1968, the school was 11 years old, the same as me. When the school was built, it was one single building. This building was 3 stories high, and eventually it would become the lower school, which would cater for first and second year students of 11, 12 years old. In 1961 they built another building directly next to it on its right hand side as you look at it from the road. This building was bigger, it was 4 stories high, and it became the senior school, so it was 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th form students. There was also a technical wing which jutted out from the newer building towards the road, and that housed the woodwork and metalwork departments when I was there. We're currently walking along Woolton Street, and eventually when we get to the White Horse pub it becomes Oakfield Road. I used to get the bus to school. I used to catch the 81 somewhere along Speak Road. Sometimes I came into the village maybe to catch the 78, but it would be a rare occasion when I walked to school. But if I did, it would be because I'd missed the bus, so this would be the route I would take. There is another route which is at the bottom road, which is you could go down to Mackett's Lane and walk into Grange Lane, but because I used to go for the bus, this is the route that I'm going to cover today. We're now on Oakfield Road, and there's some lovely properties hidden away behind these sandstone walls. There was also on the opposite side of the road a nursery, which today I guess you would call a garden centre, called Williams, I think it was. I'm not quite sure where that was, but we used to come here quite often, me and my mum, in school holidays, because she was a really keen gardener. So if anyone remembers where Williams Nursery was, it would be good to know. I had very much enjoyed my 6 years at Kingsthorne County Primary School, and I was looking forward to going to Gateacre in 1968 as an 11-year-old, because it represented growing up. We were now in long trousers and we felt like little adults rather than children. But Gateacre was a very different ball game than Kingsthorne. Gateacre could be extremely rough. You had to have your wits about you if you were going to survive this. If you've ever seen the Western film called The Quick and the Dead with Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, Leonardo DiCaprio and Russell Crowe, That pretty much sums up Gateacre Comprehensive School to me. The headmaster in those days was a man called Mr. Hughes. I didn't have a great deal to do with him. I think I only spoke to him once. His deputy head was a guy called Mr. Dawson, who came across as being a bit aggressive. He used to walk around with his cane in his hand. He had a mortarboard and a gown. His gown used to billow behind him as he strode along the corridors like some weird Marvel character. But he was replaced pretty soon after I started by the head of the gym department, a guy called Mr. Edwards. He became deputy head, and he was a nice guy. He was quiet and easy to get along with. There were quite a few aggressive teachers. One of the woodwork teachers used to like to throw large pieces of wood at pupils who spoke in class, and it could do some damage because they threw them at head height. There was also a religious education teacher who liked throwing his board rubber around, which was basically a piece of felt glued to a handful-sized piece of wood. That would fly across the room at you as well if you spoke in his class. I don't know if you would get away with it these days. I'm sure you probably wouldn't, but back then that was the way it was. There was violence in the classrooms from the teachers at times, and it was just, as I say, the quick and the dead. This is Rose Brow in Gateacre, and I would have got off the bus on the opposite side of the road, crossed to here, and done the rest of the journey by foot. I think I should point out, because I've just realised that some people watching this might not know, but where we're going to see my old school, Gateacre Comprehensive, it's actually no longer there. Which is why at the beginning of the video I pointed out that some structures have lasted a lot longer than this one. Built in 1957, it ceased to be used in 2010 and was demolished in 2011. So I think it lasted, 54 years, is that? Anyway, what we're going to see is not the school, but where the school used to be. We're now on Cuckoo Lane, as you can see, and we're going to take a right-hand turn onto Oakfield Avenue. It's only a short walk from there down to Grange Lane, but there are some fantastic properties on Oakfield Avenue. They were here when I was going to school, all custom built, different designs, some with their own swimming pools. They must these days be worth an absolute fortune. It's strange really, because I haven't done this walk since I was at school, and even then I didn't do it very often because I was put off by the distance. Yet today it doesn't seem that far. It's only taken me, I think, 10 to 12 minutes. It's perception, I guess, and having longer legs now than I did then, I guess. We're nearing the end of Oakfield Avenue now. It's even shorter than I remember it, and at least one house is having some work done to it at the moment. As you can see, there's quite a few white vans parked around here and there. We're now on Grange Lane, and back in the day, up until 2010, the school would have been coming up on our left hand side. So I'm going to show you one or two photographs which I took of the buildings before I even knew that they were going to be demolished. The first photograph shows the lower school. This was the one that was built first in 1957, and for a short time it was the only building. In the foreground is the playground for the lower school, and there was one around the back, which you reached from the left hand side. There was a pathway right the way around. This is taken basically from the road, I think in 1990 something. It's during the summer holidays, so no kids around at the time, so quite easy to take photographs without having unwanted people in. This photograph shows the senior school, and in the foreground the technical wing, which housed the woodwork and metalwork departments. This is a photograph from the playground of the 4-storey high senior school, and you can see that the level of the playground comes to roughly halfway up the windows of the ground floor. So from the playground you had to go down a short flight of steps to actually get to the door to enter the building. To the left hand side, which isn't in the shot, is a large embankment with steps on it, which you used to have to climb up to get to the playing fields, and it was roughly 2 stories high, so the playing field was roughly to the top of the windows of the second floor. So when we see the houses next that have been built here, they're actually built on 2 levels. Some of them are built on the level of the playing field, and some of them are built on the level of the school. And to get away from this, they've built a huge wall, which you can see from Grange Lane, behind the houses on Grange Lane, that is actually higher than the rooftops. So the houses on one level are looking down on the houses on Grange Lane. That's a feat of engineering, I think. This picture shows the playing fields and the height of it in relation to the senior school building. So some of the houses that are here now are built on where this playing field is, and the ones that are on Grange Lane are actually built on the level of the ground floor of the school. It's quite a drop. So these are the houses on Grange Lane which have replaced the school, and immediately behind their back gardens is a huge wall, which is, I guess, just above the height of their house, which holds back all the soil and land that the other houses behind them are built on. Wow. Anyway, I'm going to retrace my steps now, and we're going to go back to Woolton Village, but I'm going to take the bottom road. We're going to go to Gateacre Brow and walk up Gateacre Brow, back up to Rosebrow and back into Woolton Village. We're about to cross the bottom of Oakfield Avenue, and back when I was at school we used to finish at 4 o'clock, and if this was then, this road would have been absolutely swarming with kids walking home. Obviously some went in the opposite direction because Gateacre Comprehensive had quite a wide catchment area. Netherley, Lee Park, Gateacre obviously, and Woolton, where I came from, and one or two pupils actually went to or lived at Strawberry Fields. One of my sort of classmates was an orphan or whatever Strawberry Fields took, and he lived there. So it did have quite a catchment area, but this would have been swarming back in the day. I guess it was even in the 80s, 90s and 2000s. I was here for 5 years, from 68 to 73. Actually seemed longer than that. I can't believe I was at Kingstone longer than I was here, but I was. I left when I was 15. I did my O-levels and then left. But back in those days you could actually leave school at 14. You didn't actually have to do any exams if you were of a mind that you thought you would be better off at work and you weren't going to do well at exams. Then you could leave without any, get yourself a job, and some did. I remember some of my classmates leaving at 14. I guess it's unthinkable now. Despite what I've said, I did actually enjoy my time at Gateacre Comprehensive. I made some great friends. I enjoyed some times. Other times it was a bit brutal. But the friends I did make, some of them I took into adulthood, but sadly we've all parted our ways over the years as we've all gone in different directions. But I do have fond memories of Gateacre Comprehensive. If I didn't, I wouldn't have made this video. But it carries on from my video of Kingsthorne and puts in place my education years. So as I said earlier, this is Gateacre Brow, and we're going to walk to the top onto Rosebrow and then back into Woolton Village. No need to book for the clairvoyant evening, they know you're coming. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up soon.